Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's mukbang, apparently it's National Taco Day, but it's also apparently National Cinnamon Roll Day. So I thought, why not incorporate both into this mukbang? So this is a cinnamon roll casserole. I'm so incredibly excited for this. It smells amazing, it looks amazing, and if it's amazing, I will write the recipe down below. It's very easy. And then these are burger tacos. I've been seeing burger tacos pretty much everywhere the past few months, and I thought, why not try it for today because it sounded really interesting. So I just used the Beyond beef for this, and then I just added vegan cheese, lettuce, pickles, and a vegan burger sauce. And then I also have some vegan ranch, which is halfway gone because setting up for this video I dumped it all over my floor. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but we prevail. We are going to proceed with this video. I got it all cleaned up. We're all fine. And then also for today, I was going to do a true crime, but I thought I would spread it out a little bit for those of you who don't like my true crime and conspiracy theory videos. But because it is still October, I still want to do something spooky. So I'm going to be telling you guys a true story that happened to me in middle school that was actually really terrifying, and I forgot that it even happened until the other day. I remembered it and I thought, why not share it with you guys, because it was pretty scary. But I will be giving you guys a little bit of a trigger warning. I will be talking about shootings, like school shootings, so if you're sensitive to that, please click off, because I know that a lot of people are very sensitive to this type of thing. And it's just a terrible thing, and it shouldn't be a thing, but unfortunately it is. Also, I would love for you guys to send me your scary stories so I can react to them in videos. You can either comment down below or DM me and let me know if you want me to use your name or not, because I don't want to use your name if you're uncomfortable with that, but I want to tell more of your guys' scary stories in the future, so I need your help. But only if you're comfortable. Okay, I am going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to dig in. I think I'm actually going to start with the tacos because this is still really hot. I'm so excited. Which one do I start with? Maybe I should start with the closer one so I don't spill. I don't know how much of that you saw, but I'm excited. I feel like this is perfect for me because I'm not the biggest fan of tacos necessarily, but I love burgers, so I am in love with this. Oh my goodness, this is so good. You guys have to try this. It's stuck. Oh. There we go. It literally tastes like a burger. Like, there's no difference. Just the shape of it. Honestly, I might take this over an actual burger because I feel like it's a little bit less messy. Still very messy, but not as much. So, this story takes place in middle school. I think I was in 8th grade, which, where I live, 8th grade is the top grade before you go into high school. So 8th grade was the last year of junior high. It was just a normal day. I was going to my first hour class. We have 6 classes throughout the day, and I was in my first hour, which was orchestra. And the way that the room is set up, here's the front of the room, and this is where our teacher's stand was. And then we would sit around him, and our instruments are over here, and here was the back of the room. There were a bunch of chairs stacked up in the back, and there were the 2 doors to enter the room, and then his office was over here. And on these doors there were windows that were kind of like that big. Anyway, so we were in class, and I should preface the story by saying that my orchestra teacher was a very funny guy, and he was rarely super serious. He would joke around a lot, and we never really, like, he would get upset sometimes, but he would never get very stern. That's important for the future, so just keep that in mind. But we were literally just sitting in class practicing our instruments. Usually, like, the first few minutes of class we just practice our instruments, and then we'll go into playing pieces that we would soon perform in a performance or a concert. So it was probably within the first 10 minutes of class, we had all set up our stuff. We had our instruments, we were just practicing, and it was just a relatively normal day. I should also mention that the orchestra room was pretty isolated. It was at the far end of the high school. I mean middle school. So, the far end of the 2 main entryways, and there were ways you could get into the school on that side where the orchestra room was, but I'm pretty sure they had the doors locked, so you couldn't really get in. But the building that the orchestra room was in was also with the choir kids and the band kids, and then the theater was over there, but unfortunately we didn't have theater when I was in middle school. But oh, and the gym was also over there, but other than that we were pretty secluded. Like, we were all just on our own. Maybe these aren't cleaner than burgers. They're probably just relatively as messy. Okay, I have to try some of this now. It looks so good. Oh my gosh, this looks bomb. I'm writing the recipe down below for you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Honestly, not as cinnamony as I would like, but other than that, it's amazing. It's still really hot. Well, not really hot, but almost too hot. But not hot enough that I will stop eating it. I think part of the reason why I like this recipe so much is because you add maple syrup to it. And if you don't know me, I love maple syrup. So, like I said, it was a relatively normal day, and we were just practicing our instruments. Then all of a sudden, over the speaker, there is a woman's voice who says, "This is not a drill." And then I don't know what she says, but basically she alludes to the fact that there is someone on campus who was carrying a suspicious bag. And so they thought it was a shooter. And so they said, "This is not a drill, like protect your students," like that kind of thing. And I didn't know what to think at first, because it was kind of like, what is happening, you know? Because we live in a pretty safe neighborhood, and the middle school that I went to is in walking distance. Like, I walked to and from school every day, almost every day. It was like probably a 20-minute walk at the most. Anyway, so things like this just never happened. But my orchestra teacher got incredibly serious, and he got so stern with us, and he said, "Everybody get to the back of the room." And like, he was being protective, but it was scary to me because I'd never seen him this way before. So we all deserted our seats and went to the back of the room, and as much as we could, we tried to create a barricade with these stacked chairs. And then our teacher turned off the lights, and he had these paper things rolled up on the windows of the doors, so he just let those drop. But anyway, him doing all this was just to ensure that the room looked like it wasn't inhabited, so that if it was a shooter, then he would look into the room and think that nobody was there, you know, just to protect us. what our teacher was doing was to protect us, not the shooter looking in. Sometimes I tell stories, and while I'm editing, I'm like, why did I word it like that? That doesn't make any sense. So hopefully this makes sense. So I remember very vividly, I was huddled next to my closest friend in orchestra at the time, and I wasn't necessarily afraid. I mean, I was, but my friend was crying, and I was like, it's okay, like, I think we'll be fine. We're in the back end of the school anyway, so if anything happens, I'm pretty sure they'll get it figured out soon enough. And then she mentioned that she was worried because her siblings were just at the elementary school, which was literally like right across the street from our middle school. And so she was worried because her little sister, I think, or one of her siblings or a few of her siblings went to the elementary school. And she's like, what if something happens and he goes there next or something like that? And then I started freaking out because I had my brothers, they were in elementary school at that time. And so I started getting really freaked out too. And it was so scary. We're sitting there for probably, I mean, it felt like forever, but it was probably only 10 minutes or maybe 15. Come to find out, it is just a father bringing his son's lunch to him. So I think because he didn't check in with the front office, which is what you're supposed to do, they didn't know where he came from, and so they're like, it's an intruder type thing, you know? Which is good, they're playing it safe, but it could have been so bad, and I'm so grateful that it wasn't, but it was so scary. Honestly, I think the scariest thing was how stern my orchestra teacher was being, because that was just so unexpected. That was a good bite. But I remember after that day, I was so scared to go to school, even though it was a false alarm. I felt like for some reason, like maybe he wasn't just faking it, or maybe he was practicing for next time. Like, I don't know. I was just very scared after that, especially because of the whole elementary school thing. I didn't stop thinking about my siblings after that day. I can't decide which one I like more, because I love just the savory burger aspect that this one has, or that these have. But this is just so sweet and cinnamony. I don't know, man. I spoke too soon. These are probably messier than burgers. But they're still so good. So I recommend trying burger tacos out because they're very fun. A very fun take on tacos. Especially if you're not a huge fan of tacos too. The center of it is still warm. So good. I swear I'm not neglecting this piece, okay? It just looks really good, so I wanted to save it. So that's the end of my scary story time. I know it wasn't like a ghost encounter or whatever, and I know that it wasn't like actually super terrifying, but like it was to me. So don't think that this is just clickbait, because it was a scary story. Or is. Okay. This will be my last bite. Okay, last bite. Alright guys, that is the end of this mukbang. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. You are so sweet. And I forgot to mention, if you didn't notice, I got new lights. My sister got me some mushroom lights. And I also finally put up my fall items. I forgot to do it for last video. It's okay, I got them up now. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. By the way, it's free. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.